What's up? I'm back. In this segment, I'm going to talk about sleep and your health. Sleep is very important. In the tarot tradition, is associated with the moon card. Sleep is known as the cousin of death, and it's often because, many people talk about sleep and they get into astral projecting and all kind of stuff like that. But realistically, sleep is a way to experience little deaths. And when you successfully understand what sleep is and its connection to improving your life, you actually improve your death. When it's time for you to die, you actually have a good death. And sleep is something that's crucial, and there's a lot of misinformation about it, partly because science doesn't really understand why we sleep, really, when you really research it. And I want to talk about this in a short segment in the sense that we always talk about the power of thought, and, the New Age community hammered that to death. But beyond the power of thought, it comes, well, not beyond the power of thought, but beyond the power of thought, the way you're taught. There's other factors in this. One factor is that at nighttime, first of all, your subconscious mind is the one that creates your body. It creates your cells. It programs your cells. So, in a sense, your health is directly related to the state of your subconscious mind. So, in that sense, that means the person is going to have to understand psychology, and not just Hatha yoga, but even Raj yoga, even the mental science that the ancients have known, as well as, which I think the modern psychologists have done a pretty good job as well, believe it or not. And studying the mind, it directly affects the body as well. And you have to understand how the mind works. And when you understand how the subconscious mind works, you understand that at nighttime and in the daytime when you first get up, the subconscious mind is more apple to suggestions. That's the time for you to program it. Early in the morning, first thing you do when you get up, or right before you go to sleep. So when you go to sleep, in tarot traditions and hermetic traditions, sleep will be a time when your body heals itself. You'd experience certain things in astral. And when you understand that when you sleep, your subconscious mind reinforces all the thoughts that you had consciously, then the person understands that even going to sleep, you have an argument, you go to sleep drunk, right? Even going to sleep watching TV and doing nonsense is probably not the best way to go to sleep. Sometimes best way to go to sleep, be self-reflective, imagine what happened in the daytime, but most importantly, imagine traits that you want. You want to lose weight, you want to stop eating junk food, you want to be a great piano player, you're a teenager, you want to learn to drive, whatever the case may be, reinforce it when you sleep. This is the difference. The people who talk about the power of thought will say, okay, I want to learn to fly a plane, I can just think about flying a plane all day and I'm going to fly it. No. First of all, when are you doing it? When you really enforcing that. Of course, if you're doing it in a meditative state and you enforce it in a meditative state, it's good. But if you're just thinking randomly, I want to learn how to fly, and then you think that magically you don't have to do anything else, you can learn to fly. No, it doesn't work like that. When you reinforce your subconscious mind, deep meditative state, if you want to, but when you're sleeping, right before you sleep, right before you get up, the mind or the subconscious mind programs the body. Your body gets reprogrammed. Are you going to still have to go to pilot school? Of course. Are you going to still have to make certain connections? Of course. But once you go to pilot school, your body is reprogrammed in such a way that you learn it quicker. And that's the power of the mind. The power of the mind first entails understanding how the mind works, understanding the three compartments, the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. Understanding its tie to your health. Understand that even when someone says eat healthy, right? There's actually a connection between the health and the brain and the gut. When someone says eat healthy, partly is because the stomach is symbolic of an extreme version of the conscious mind. You could say consciously, I want to be healthy, right? But the body needs material, to make that happen. But also, when you're giving the body command, this is why praying over food was. See, people will say, who you praying to? In the beginning, you prayed over food because why? Because you program their intention in the food. The same way how you have all these fools right now going in go talk about videos of programming gems and all this other stuff. They should be talking about programming food at first, consuming it. When you consume it, the stomach, the brain, kind of like in a relationship, they say, "Oh, you want to get healthy? This is why. Here's the material. Here's the intentions." And all of a sudden, you see, health begins to shift. But understanding how the connection between the mind and body work, how the connections work, start to shift how you see things. And when you look at sleep and you look at the importance of sleep. I mean, there's people who say sleep's the cousin of death, you shouldn't sleep. there's a difference between being spiritually evolved and not needing as much sleep to function, right? Which is a difference. You got some work to do. You got a deadline. Sure, you sleep 3-4 hours instead of sleeping 8-9 hours. But when you can sleep for a certain amount of time, you get your sleep on because you understand the importance of it. When you talk about astral projection, it's not for fanciness. It's for being able to understand the worlds around you, being able to understand the process. When you die, it's very similar to when you sleep. So when you start to understand why the process when you sleep, death or ascension will be much easier. Hope that helps. Till next time. Peace.